What is up, babes? Happy Friday. The One Piece chapter, 1055. It blows my mind that we're already 55 chapters above 1,000, but here we are, and things are going down. There were a lot of highlights in this chapter. There's a lot of things that we can definitely start to theorize on, but there were some crazy highlights that I definitely want to review and see what you guys thought as well. First things first, Green Bull has been demoted to Green Bill as of 1054, and now Green Bill, it seems like in 1055, has once again been demoted to Billy. My brother called him Billy because he's pissed. He's an admiral's advocate, and he's seeing kind of what's happening here, and he's very, very disappointed. And yet again, another prime example of Yonko being stronger than admirals, or is Shanks just kind of his own special thing, which I kind of think, but at the same time, I'm still on that boat that Yonko are stronger than admirals. We had the end of that fight, Momo having just time and time again, Momo's really coming in clutch with the words that he speaks, with how mature he is, and they're really solidifying this character before we're about to leave him for probably until the very end, because I do expect Momo to come back, especially with his dragon form being helpful in the final battle, final large onslaught of a war. But him saying, hey, like, we cannot always depend on these protectors that came and saved us from our suffering. We can't always depend on that, because if they freed us, what is the point of us not being able to defend ourselves with the tools that they gave us? Did Greenbill take any real damage? No. The scabbards looked like they were kind of about done before Momo actually did launch what looked like a couple of interesting attacks. It looked like just a regular blast breath and then possibly a bolo. I don't think so, but definitely something that did not even necessarily damage, but held off Green Bull. And just being able to hold off an admiral is crazy. Do I think that any real damage was done to Green Bull? Absolutely not. He reseated himself and he's completely fine and ready to go back at it again. Probably able to take that form again or do whatever he needs to do in order to move forward. I think that later down the line when we see Green Bull fight again, we'll look at this and just kind of be like, all right, like that was kind of whatever. Green Bull is somebody that you need to respect in terms of combat. Green Bull is somebody who is powerful. But right now, he's making the admirals look like shit. It's not a good look. The scabbards got clowned on by Kaido like bad. Like they kind of landed some hits, kind of. When they were up on the roof, they just got destroyed. Like when things got serious before the raid and before all that, they were destroyed. And Kaido had no mercy after the fact either. Cutting Kinemon in half and doing all these things to the scabbards that put them out of commission. Of course, they were healed later and they did take more of a battle stance later on in the raid, but Kaido just absolutely destroyed them. So the fact that they're able to even hold off Green Bull is impressive. And I think it's interesting to see Luffy, Sanji, Zoro, and Jinbei watching on being like, hey, do they have this handled? Because if they don't, we do have this handled. And I think, I mean, they got to, right? At this point, like, there's no way all four of those people lose to Green Bill. Like, at this point, like, from what we're seeing, absolutely not. So it's so funny that in 3 chapters, Green Bull goes from looking like some god. Like, damn, he took out King and Queen. He took out the rest of the Beast Pirates. He looks insane. And then we go on a 4-month break and everyone's like, wow, like, admirals are looking fresh. And I love that Oda did that. I don't think it was necessarily intentional, the argument, but it's just fantastic to me. And then we come back and it's like he's kind of getting held off here a little bit. It looks like he's kind of getting held off. And even though no damage was done, just the fact that he was stopped. Do you remember when the entirety of the Whitebeard pirates tried to stop Sakazuki? He's on a different level. Just kind of like Shanks, like I was saying earlier. He's on a different level. But when they were trying to stop him, all their division captains were getting destroyed. They were getting murdered. They were laying at his feet, burning to death in lava, while he was just screaming on a beeline to kill Luffy. And I was like, holy shit. But a very important part of this chapter that cannot go without mentioning is the load poneglyph. Now, not only that, but the fact that Wano is enclosed, that the original Wano is underwater. So first off, with the load poneglyph, we have to think that that's going to go to Lodestar. Now, Lodestar is the island before Laughtell. This is an island that we've heard a couple times about. We know different pirate groups that have gone to Lodestar, that have not gone, or Roger went to Lodestar before going to Laugh-Tale. So we have to think that that's the next heading. We have to think that that's kind of the next island that we're on the way to. Is the last poneglyph there? I'm not sure. What is Blackbeard doing? Not sure, but I'm still just every single chapter I'm like, just give me something. Just give me something. Like, he's got to be doing something. But what's very interesting about it being underwater is Pluton. Now, Pluton, it's said that it's going to be a little bit deeper, so that means that it was originally underneath the original Wano. So it's like very much in there. Pluton being the ship of destruction, as far as we know, we have the blueprints for it, but it's actually there. Now, this has been a running thing from Alabasta to Enies Lobby, and now in Wano. Pluton is actually present, and it's actually there. And I don't know how it's still able to hold true to this point. Do we see it? I'm not sure. What I do find interesting is, why is Shanks there? Why is Shanks there? I don't think it's because of Greenbill, Billy. I don't think that's why. Now, him doing his long-range Conqueror's Hockey attack, if you can even call it that, his presence alone from like what, like a mile away, like far away, he stuns a Navy admiral. He freezes him in his tracks, and he's like, and he talks to him and he replies, and I'm like, how are you able to communicate? What's going on? But he's like in his head. And I think this is trying to show us the next level of hockey that we're going to see. Like, even though Luffy is at this point where, to as far as we know now, he has a lot of these things like under his belt that he's able to pull off. He has Gear 5. Like, what else is there? And it's like Shanks is like, I'm on a different level, man. Like, I'm actually on a different level. Like, you're not even here yet. So it's interesting to see that there's still a lot of room for Luffy to grow. It's amazing to see Shanks attack a Navy admiral from so far away, still kind of protecting Luffy, or just the idea of piracy in general. It's tough to tell Shanks's intentions, and he's still just going around Wano, and I'm not entirely sure why. He said he was gonna go hang out and probably kick Bartolomeo's ass, but he's not doing that yet. What I do find interesting is him saying that he wants to claim the One Piece. Does he need Pluton? Is that something that he's waiting for the borders to open so that he can obtain? I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he needs that in order to accomplish that goal. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what he's trying to capitalize on here, but he's there for a reason. I've seen a couple other theories, and I don't think they're bad, that he knows about the Nika fruit, that he understands the sun god that Luffy has, and that if Luffy were to be defeated, then he's then going to retrieve said fruit. But it is very interesting. Very interesting. Like, I'm not even quite sure myself exactly why Shanks is there and why he continues to go in a circle and what his overall plan is. Luffy was amazed to see and understand that I think there was a King's Conqueror connection there, because King's is just able to do anything that it wants nowadays. But he was able to understand that, hey, that was actually Shanks doing that there. But a solid chapter. 1055 was great. Those poor Admiral lovers are down bad. Momo had a solid end. I don't even know if he's entirely done yet, but just being able to stand up for himself, being able to stand up for the country that he represents as the Shogun was great. Seeing Shanks' long-range hockey attack, and just the presence that he bestows upon anybody and everybody around him, especially when he wants to, because even when he doesn't want to, he's intimidating. His presence alone is a scary thing. Not sure exactly where we're going from here. Don't even know what the next chapter is going to be. And Shanks, man, I don't know, Shanks, what are you doing? Give me some of Buggy too. Let me see kind of what's happening with the rest of the world during this break too, because we're still on that fun section. I love this part because there's so much happens. Like, over the last 100 chapters before this, it might have been a little difficult to argue Yonko versus Admirals with any new information. But literally just this last 3 chapters, and there's like a boatload of stuff to talk about in regards to that. But I love these type of chapters. I hope you guys enjoyed it too. Don't even have much else to say. They're going to Lodestar, it looks like, which is very exciting because I'm interested to see that island. We've heard a lot about it. And they're that much closer to getting the One Piece, but not as close as Shanks. So we'll see. But you babes have a great weekend and a great Friday. Peace.